for showing up. We had a bad incident last Saturday in Regina, and we've been tarred and feathered as such, but let me tell you one thing. The last thing this group is against immigrants or sons or daughters of immigrants. In fact, our biggest supporters are immigrants and sons and daughters of immigrants. Ladislav Sobolov in Ontario came from a communist bloc nation, and he was one of the first to start warning us way back in March that this is just the first step toward fascism.
Yeah, exactly.
Benjamin Franklin warned that if you're willing to accept security over liberty, you deserve neither. We're here for two reasons. One, we want the government to respect our freedom and rights under the Charter. And two, we want it to be demonstrably proven to us that these dog-killing and life-killing measures are worth the price these days. That is why we're here. We're going to educate, and tell you that there is nothing to fear but fear itself. I love you all so much for showing up. Freedom fighters are patriots. The next speaker is going to be a guy named Mark Friesen. Red and orange and feathered in the news as a right-winger and a racist. Well, I'm a left-winger and an anti-racist. All my life I've been a human rights advocate, and I'm a socialist at my core. And the people I grew up loving were MLK, Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, and people like that. And Mark Friesen is no racist, and he's no xenophobe. He is a true Canadian patriot, and I'm glad to stand with him. Mark Friesen.
So yeah, it's been an interesting week. A lot of focus on me, unfortunately. What these people in the media, politicians, what they don't understand is this is about you. This is about all of us. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just a guy who's got a big mouth. I'm not scared to use it. And when they level these attacks on me, it's purposeful. It has nothing to do with me as an individual, because none of them know me. It's to set a narrative to discredit the rest of you through me. That's all it is. Propaganda, that's how they operate. That's how they operate this whole pandemic, through propaganda. They lock down the narrative so nobody understands what's really happening. They do it purposely. They know it. This is what it is. They understand. They've seen all the same science that has brought you folks here to question what's happening. They know it all. The problem is the media has locked down the narrative, so most of the masses are told one side of the story. That's how they operate this. That's how they move this forward. It's all propaganda. Where the rest of you folks and people that support what we're here for, and that's our freedom, understand, is there's two sides to this debate. There's two sides to information. There is evidence that clearly proves against the narrative that's being promoted, but it can't be locked down. That's what all this is. So, and I'm not the only one. There's other people here. I'm sort of used to it. You know, I spent 25 years working in prison. If I didn't leave every day with at least a death threat or some kind of accusation, I wasn't doing my job. I consider that to be the same now. If I'm not getting these levied against me, I'm not doing my job. So it is what it is. We just carry on. So what we're seeing throughout our country is globalism. It's globalism. Everything we're seeing, all these measures are not brought forward by our local leaders. They're not brought forward by our Premier. They're not brought forward by Justin Trudeau. These measures are brought forward by the World Health Organization, the UN, the World Economic Forum, the elites, globalists. This is what a post-nation state looks like. This is exactly prime minister who referred to our country as a post-nation state 1 week after being elected the first time. None of this should be a surprise to anybody. There's a reason why the facts don't line up with what's happening. There's a reason why we're locked down, our livelihoods are being destroyed, our jobs are being destroyed, our opportunities are being destroyed, small business are being destroyed, lives are being destroyed. It's not because of a virus that's 99% plus recoverable. It's not because they're using a PCR test, cycled it 40 times, rendering the test useless, and then using the numbers derived from that test to lock it down. This is all part of the bigger agenda. Agenda 2030, the Great Reset, the Fourth Industrial Revolution, call it whatever you want, it's all the same thing. It's globalism and it's global governance. We have situations in Canada now. Yesterday, I'm sure a lot of you seen the video, a couple of kids playing hockey in an outdoor rink. Arrested, assaulted, put in handcuffs, had his skates cut off his feet because he's playing hockey. He's a kid. He's doing what kids are supposed to do. And he's arrested and assaulted by police. And there's people that are supporting that. There's people who say, we're watching this happen, and then have people cheering it on. It's exactly what happened in the Soviet Union during the revolution. It's exactly what happened in Germany during the Nazi. All of this is happening. It's all been foreshadowed. It's all been told. The story is written. And we're living it right now. So these media bastards can try to defame me. They can try to discredit me. They can dismiss me. They can degrade me. They can do whatever they want. They'll never stop me. Freedom is 1,000 times more important than anything else. That's why we're here. Two things we demand. Two things, and all this ends. And those two things are respect, our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. And I will die defend those and uphold them and respect them. Number two, open the debate. Why are Drs. Hodkinson, Dr. Modry, Dr. Malthouse, and many more that have contacted me scared of the retribution that they face? Why are they being stifled? Why are they being censored? Why are they not allowed to talk? Why is their information not allowed in the discussion? Because they know that if that came to light, this all ends. That's why it's so important to demand public debate, demand open, transparent discussion. Demand from each and every one of our officials that are hired by us. They don't tell us what to do, we tell them what to do. And the only way we can have that effect is more of these. We need more people here. We need more people writing your MLAs, writing your MPs, coming to these protests, standing up for what you believe in. So there's a guy in history that went through a similar thing we're going through. His name's Winston Churchill. He was the only individual that was willing to stand up to the Nazis. There was capitulation throughout the British government, throughout Europe. They wanted to capitulate to the Nazi agenda. Winston Churchill stood up above all and waged the war against fascism. I'm going to quote from Winston Churchill. If you will not fight for right when you can easily win without bloodshed, if you will not fight when your victory is sure and not too costly, you may come to the moment when you will have to fight with all the odds against you, only a precarious chance of survival. There may even be a worse case. you may have to fight when there is no hope of victory. Because it is better to perish than to live as slaves. There was a lot of people at our rally here a few weeks ago. Maybe a little bit more than this, hard to say, hard to judge. There was a lot of people there in Regina. There's a lot of people that aren't here today. And they're not here because the fight is too hard. There's too much risk. We're at a stage now where that risk has to be ignored. The cost is too strong.
Yeah.
So thank you, each and every one of you, for standing up to Charlie Clark, for standing up to Scott Moe, for standing up to Justin Trudeau. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for being solid patriots and loving everything our country represents. Thank you very much.